Another investment strategy that falls under the builder developer place category is the garden suites, ADU, Laneway Homes investment strategy. The goal of this strategy is to add a separate unit or a few units to an existing property, and that would increase the value, and through this you would also generate extra rents. And typically this is a residential strategy whereby in total, after you add the units, you've got up to 4 units. This has become a very famous strategy recently here in Ontario because of Bill 23, where the cities and municipalities are encouraging densification and have made it lighter on development costs for investors to add extra units to an existing site. It's a beautiful strategy that allows you to obviously boost your cash flow, increase the value, and many investors want to refinance after the work is done to recoup their investment and to take their money to their next deal. The biggest financing mistake when it comes to adding a garden suite or an ADU or a laneway home is assuming that you will be able to refinance at the higher value once the work is done, only to learn that some lenders will not even consider the value of that extra unit you've built, and they would not even consider the rents from these units. Shocking, right? Well, that's where knowing what the exit strategy is before you enter a deal is very important. So here's your strategic solution and pro tip. It is super important for you as a real estate investor before you start digging to get clear with your income property mortgage broker about your exit financing, to understand and validate your assumptions about, one, will you qualify to actually take the money out once the work is done? When will you be able to take the money out? How much will you be able to take out? And what will the terms look like? Because not every lender, as I mentioned, would consider the additional value that comes from building an extra unit or the additional rents. In fact, the majority of the alternative lenders won't, but many of the A lenders would. So going into the deal, getting clear on your exit financing is crucial for your success. The other thing that you want to do upfront is to do an as-is appraisal, which is what's the property worth today, and an as-complete appraisal, which is what will the property worth tomorrow. But not only that, you want to do this as-complete and as-is appraisal with an appraiser whose name is approved on the list of the lender that you will do your future refinance with. Because getting just a random appraisal today from anybody doesn't necessarily mean that that appraisal will be accepted down the road by the lender. You want it done with the lender that will do the exit refinance for you. Now, the appraisal report will still have to be updated when the time comes, because if it's taken you more than 120 days to do this, which is likely the case, then that appraisal report has to be updated. It has to be more recent to reflect the comparables, the recent comparables for the lender. If you are serious about building an ADU or a garden suite or a laneway, and you would like to take a deep dive into how to finance the acquisition, how to finance the construction, and how to finance the exit, and get more details about avoiding the costly mistakes, watch my video on this channel titled "Do Not Finance an ADU Until You Watch This," and I will put the link to that video in the description here. So take a look at that one.